Hi folks, hope you're doing well. It's 20 past 10 on the 22nd of August 2020. A few topics in this one. First of all, I was just watching the new season of the program called Lucifer. Bit strange in this one. They're showing Lucifer as the devil as being the good guy. Michael, the archangel, as being the liar, deceitful, nasty guy. Weird, but there you go. Well, anyway, a few things have happened in this one, and they're having some interesting conversations. This is episode 3 that I'm talking about. The police officer, the detective, as she's known, was told by Michael, who is supposedly Lucifer's brother, looks exactly like Lucifer, etc., etc., that she was created by God for Lucifer. Purely for him. That's it. And of course, she's quite concerned about that because she's like, well, what on earth do I do with that situation? You know, that's a weird thing, really. So, what do I do with this? Well, that's one thing that we can talk about in a sec. And another thing is predestination, where she asked the question that was she designed by God purely to live in this way, and does she have any control over it? No, so she's asking her friend who is a Christian, what about predestination? Do you have to live a certain way, or do you have a choice? So, first point. Anyone, if you're married to the person you're supposed to be married to, if you're joined to the person you're supposed to be joined to, that God has for you, that person was pretty much made for you. You were pretty much made for them. Right? Designed for them. Designed for a task, but also designed for them. And them for you. So, being designed by God for somebody, that's common. We're pretty much all designed by God for somebody. Predestination? No. No such thing. You're not forced to live your life in a certain way. You get to choose. You get to make decisions throughout the day. Every decision you make is your decision to make. And it's what chooses the path you go on. Now, we make thousands of choices every day. It could just be one decision that we make in a day that chooses the path we go on, the path that can make or break us. Which is why in the Authorized, as in the King James, the Lord says, don't take thought as to what you're going to eat or drink. In the New King James, it says, don't worry about. But taking the thought comes before worrying, so you have to look at don't take the thought. We have all these thoughts. We have to learn not to take the thought. I've spoken about that before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail there. But predestination, no. This doesn't exist. So, yeah. So that's two Christian subjects that have come from just watching one episode of a program, really possibly designed to glorify the devil. That is quite within their own possibility. This is season 5 of that program. Now, should that program have got to season 5? No. It was supposed to end on season 3. The original producer, the original channel it was on, decided it wasn't going to do anymore. And then Netflix picked it up for season 4 and season 5. So it should have ended season 3, but it didn't. It's pushing on. And again, it shouldn't, because they've got the stories now. Not really. They've basically, that's why they're now introducing another character that's pretending to be Lucifer, which is Michael. Yeah, so yeah, pushing it just a tad. That's what they do. Anyway, next subject, car. So of course my X-Trail is, according to the garage, knackered because of the chain that jumps a bit. So it's causing a problem for the engine, and if it completely breaks, it will destroy the engine completely. Well, okay, so that engine's basically knackered. So, okay. So I was looking for another car, so found another X-Trail. 2 years older, 2006 version instead of 2008. Cost me £600. Compared to the 2008 costing me over £2,000. And the idea now is to have the engine changed over. So put the engine from the more basic level 2006 car, which is actually a 2.2, and replace a 2 litre in a 2008 car. But the 2008 car is a much higher spec car. So, that would be a possibility of doing that. I mean, hopefully it won't take too long to do or be too expensive to do. Because if it's too expensive, there's no point in doing it. But that is an option right now. I'm saying, right, do that. Change that over. It's quite possible things like the prop shaft has to be changed over as well. If that's the case, that's the case. Okay. The other car has a prop shaft, it works. So that's fine. But of course, there can be a fair amount of work done. It's just a cost. But changing the engine over should be a lot cheaper than repairing the engine. As in, taking the chain off and replacing it. But again, it shouldn't be. Should it really? It shouldn't be. I mean, the point of it is, surely these mechanics, they know what they're flipping doing. So I can't see why they can't strip an engine a bit quicker. Yeah, why they couldn't do that job in a day. They should be able to do it in a day. Why it have to cost thousands of pounds to do, I don't know. It should be able to be done in a day. Because it's basically a case of, you've got to take the engine apart so you can take that chain out. I mean, you've got to replace the chain. So, okay. The chain is what drives the engine. As I say, if it's a chain, they're only saying the chain jumps. They're not saying it's actually broke and has gone through the engine and destroyed it. So therefore, the engine is still pretty much intact. It's just the chain jumps a bit, which is what causes the engine not to actually work. So it's just a case, really, of taking the chain off and replacing it. So again, why on earth can't they do that? Why is it that complicated a job? Why aren't engines made so that they can be taken apart efficiently and fairly quickly? So they can get to these bits and repair cars a lot easier and a lot cheaper. I mean, it's mad to assume that it'd be cheaper and quicker to just replace the engine, than it would be to replace the chain in the engine. That's insane. It should be far cheaper to replace a chain in the engine. But I don't think it will be. I think it'd be a lot more expensive. And this garage, the car that was supposed to be giving me a quote, they never gave me a quote. And yet, so, yeah. And I'm going to have to phone them up on Monday and just say, but the option is either replace a chain, take the chain out, replace it. But if that's going to be far too expensive, replace the engine. You know, I've got another Nissan here, 2 years older, slightly bigger engine. You know, let's see if that engine can be put into the 2008 one. If it can, that would be fantastic. Yeah. But there also, what I'd ask for to be done, there'll be more jobs to be doing. The engine will need to be completely flushed. Yeah. So it'd be clean. Because, yeah, the warning I was getting with the diesel particulate filter, that's not going to be solved by necessarily putting a different engine in there if that engine is filthy, because I'd want the oil changed, I want the engine completely cleaned out, flushed out to get rid of all the old soot and crap. 2006 diesel cars, the engine is quite likely in that car going to be a bit dirty, so it needs to be washed through a bit. Now, how much that will cost to do, I don't know. How long it will take to do, I don't know. But that is something which would be useful if they can do that. Whether they have to wash it through, whether they can blow it through with air, I don't know, compressed air maybe, I don't know. How they would clean an engine. But it would need to be cleaned a bit. Yeah, at least a bit. Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have the same problems with the diesel particulate filter. But that's another thing. Diesel particulate filter may have to be replaced. But again, the 2006 car will probably have one. That one seems to be okay. There's no warning lights coming up with it, so maybe put that one on it. Yeah, maybe switch them over. I don't know, 600 quid that this car cost. If it's going to be used for spares, that's cool. That's cool. Because generally speaking, to get the diesel particulate filter, as in the part of the exhaust with that in it, that's not cheap. That's around about 150 quid for a used one. So there you go. That's got a used one. The wheels. Wheels are going to cost you about 50 quid each. There's 4 of those. That's another 200 quid. So there you go. 350 with just a diesel particulate filter bit of the exhaust. And the 4 wheels. Well, then you've got the lamps as well. Yeah, the lights. You've got all the reflectors that if you break one on one car, they're not cheap to replace, really. There you go. You've got all the bits for your car. Tons of it. And they'll probably all fit. I mean, the dash is different. There's differences between the car, but 2006, 2007, basic spec, top spec. So, yeah. Like I say, hopefully that's the right car. And hopefully the 2006 can be joined with the 2008, and the 2008 car would then last for a long, long time. That's the hope. You get it for its MOT in February. January or February, it needs an MOT, and then, have a car that can last for many, many years, because it's a lovely car to drive. It is indeed a beautiful car to drive. Really comfortable. It's fast enough. You don't need anything faster, really. And that, it gets up to the speed limit quite comfortably. 6 gears. I'd say good spec. Reversing camera, which is useful. Certainly in little car parks. It is quite useful having a reversing camera. Hitting another vehicle in the car park is always a bit of a, oh no. So, having a camera that can solve that, so you don't do that, is always useful. So, well, time will tell. Time will tell what happens. Hopefully within the next week, I'll be able to find out, what the situation is. As to whether that can be done. And hopefully both cars will be then in the garage being sorted within the week. Well, why wait? If it's a job that needs to be done and can be done, get on with it. Let's get it done. Get it sorted. If it's going to take a few weeks to do, then fine, get it sorted now. I've got a car that I'm borrowing. I can use that for the next few weeks. That's cool. But then get my little car back working, and in many ways working better. 2.2 instead of a 2-litre engine with slightly less miles as well, actually. Yeah. And that's the thing, actually. The mileometer will say what the old engine has done, even though it'd be a new engine that's done less miles. So, yeah, that's cool. So it's not common for these chains to go. They don't normally go. They normally last far longer. But they can do sometimes. Can happen. So that's the point. Oil change and stuff like that. Make sure that's all done. Try and get everything cleaned so that when the new engine goes in to the 2008 car, when the old engine 2006 engine goes into 2008 car, everything can be all tickety boo boo, and hopefully next 3 or 4 years, no issues. So let's see what happens. I suppose I'll keep you informed. That's the best I can do. All right. You take care. God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.